Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Suited Shootist. This is take two because the first one was literally a half-hour video and nobody's going to watch that. So this is the Cliff Notes version and we'll kind of get into it from there. As you can tell by the video and the stack of pants in front of me, this is going to be my high-level overview of my denim comparison. So just to preface this real quick, I'm coming at this from my lifestyle. Regular dude that concealed carries, but I don't have any lifestyle or job requirements that put any specific performance criteria in place for my clothing. I can wear what I want, aesthetics are a factor, and so I'm just trying to find the best balance, both in terms of performance, aesthetic, as well as price. So that's where we're coming from with this. And I was trying to find the break-even point of, is a $20 pair of jeans good enough? Do you need to spend $100? Do you need to spend hundreds of dollars on Japanese selvage denim and all that? Spoiler alert, I didn't do any of that. If you want to see the full 30-minute redux of this, it is available to my Patreon followers. You can sign up in the link below. And aside from that, this is something that also gets talked about quite a bit in the Bespoke Solutions Facebook group, where the link for that is down below as well. So, jumping into it, really we've got a couple different categories here. I've got the entry level, I've got the mid-tier, and really only one representation of the kind of upper echelon. But without going into too much depth, I will include the breakdown of kind of how I ranked stuff in the descriptions. That way you can kind of see that, but honestly that chews up a lot of time. So let's jump into it. The gold standard by which I was evaluating everything was, for the longest time, I had really good luck with Arizona brand jeans from JCPenney. They offer a slim fit, they offer a stretch denim, they are relatively soft right off the rack, so there's not really a break-in period. And they held up pretty well. So far, for several years, these were my only go-to pair of jeans. Well, not these specifically, but these and a couple of darker wash versions. And about 8 months ago, I had one pair finally where there was a split, kind of right on the ass cheek by the seam of the pocket, and I'll show a photo of that. So for being my only jeans for a few years, they held up pretty damn well. And so if you are looking to either just start elevating your game and you want to try something that is a darker wash and maybe a slimmer cut, these are definitely a good option to look at. Another entry-level option that is worth a look is, if you're aware, you may not be, Amazon for the last few years has been getting into the apparel game. And, you're not going to find anything that is spectacular, but with their essentials collection, it's exactly that. It's a lot of the basic closet staples that everybody should have, and I gotta say, I was fairly impressed with their slim fit stretch denim as well. Reasonably comfortable, the fit's pretty solid, and overall for $30, it's not a bad way to go. Plus, if for whatever reason you don't have department stores that are readily accessible to you or anything like that, this is available wherever Amazon ships. Plus, they've got a pretty solid return policy, and so this is another good entry-level consideration. The drawback is that, I don't know how well constructed they are. These are some of the newer ones that I've got. I can't speak to how well they're going to hold up, but again, for $30 you can get a few pairs, and if you're okay with them being semi-disposable, they should last you at least a couple of years. There were a couple of kind of mid-tier options that I considered, but I didn't get my hands on yet. Supposedly American Eagle and J. Crew both have some stretch denim that are supposed to be insanely comfortable, but just honestly didn't feel like getting my way to the mall to try them on and fight those particular crowds. So Those and the LA Police Gear denim that are kind of a copy of the Vertx ones, if I'm not mistaken, are not included in the list. If that is something that you're considering, maybe worth looking at them, but I forewent them for the purposes of this comparison. The next ones that we're going to look at are going to be Dearborn Denim, and these I actually found out about courtesy of Lee over at the Obscene Sailor. The biggest thing that these guys have going for them is these are the lightest weight denim out of anything in the collection. It's a 10 ounce denim, and again, they've got a decent amount of stretch to them, so they are pretty dang comfortable. The fit is okay. A little bit baggier than I particularly care for, and I believe that the slimmer fit was a little too snug for my tastes, so there's a little bit of a compromise on that, but overall, this is where you're going to start getting into a little bit more performance fabric. You're also going to pay for it, because these are about double the other options. So these are going to pay, you're going to pay 60, 65 bucks a piece for these. However, they've got a decent color selection. I think that they're fairly well valued for what you get and insanely comfortable. So definitely worth a look if you're looking to get into that kind of mid-tier option. Another one that is absent from the list, I did try them on, was the 511 jeans. One thing that I've got to give credit where credit is due, 511 has gotten a lot better about their discreet clothing. It actually looks like regular clothing, and it's not just let's make tactical clothing out of denim, or let's just put a bunch of pockets on a shirt and call it discreet. Whoever's doing product development over there has a much better idea of how normal people dress now, and so they're doing some pretty good things. I went to the 511 store, I tried them on, the fit was fantastic, the material looked solid. What I just couldn't get behind was, for 70 bucks, it didn't seem to do anything particularly noteworthy, and really the thing that killed it for me was that the pockets on the ass were way too low. And I know it seems like a bit of a nitpicky thing, but whenever you are talking about dressing intentionally and you are trying to put a little bit of thought and care into your appearance, sometimes it's those little details that matter. I'm not somebody that does, I don't weightlift. Jiu-jitsu is where I get my exercise. But even still, with my build, you've got a back pocket that's halfway down the ass, and it just makes all of this look disproportionate. I know it seems a bit trivial, but it's those little details that sometimes can kind of make or break a whole getup. When it comes to kind of the durability side of the equation, Duluth Trading is a brand that I've gotten a lot of appreciation for over the last year. Standing in for their jeans are, I have the fire hose pant, the 5-pocket slim fit. I think that these are a good option as well, and not just the fire hose pants. The jeans, the ballroom jeans that they have, are definitely worth looking at too. My buddy Jake over at Enlightened EDC wore a pair of his through Cecil Birch's immediate action combatives class, which is a lot of grappling and jiu-jitsu in street clothes. And so that level of mobility is possible with their stretch denim. I think that Duluth is a good option because they are catering towards the more rugged side of the house. It is workwear, but they still have some dark washes, some slim cuts, and stuff that is a little bit more stylistic and not just the oversized, relaxed fit carpenter jeans of the 90s, which, unless you work in the trades, stop buying those, please. Like, do not wear them casually, ever. Those are purely for if you're on a job site. There's not a lot of hard and fast rules. That's one of them. Stop that shit. So Duluth Trading, definitely worth looking at. That is all going to be in the $60 to $70 price point. Getting into kind of the high end, the representations that we've got there, one of them is going to be RevTown. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this company came off of an offshoot from Under Armour, where a couple of the guys there wanted to start doing performance fabrics in more, regular kind of street clothing. And these have a phenomenal amount of flexibility to them. They're a little on the heavy side for my tastes, so in warmer weather I do get a little bit of prickly heat out of them, but it's a decent fit, and they've got a good amount of stretch to them as well. One of the advantages that I've found with stretch denim, or any of this, is it allows you to buy your true size, and it can accommodate for concealed carry gear if it's being worn. But in the same vein, if you're not carrying whatever tool set, then the clothing is not suddenly too baggy. So for me, that's a big plus, because I generally like to have my clothing as versatile as possible. I don't want to have, okay, these are the clothes that I carry guns in, these are the clothes that I don't carry guns in, and then have to keep kind of two separate wardrobes. And for some of you that are maybe watching this as my first video, yes, it's shocking. There are times that I don't carry a gun. Yeah, sorry. I like visiting family in New York, Chicago. I like traveling internationally. I go places where carrying a gun is not appropriate. So if you're going to thumbs down the video, cool, go for it. If you're going to leave an asinine content, cool, go for it. But yeah, that's just my little rant. I don't let the gun dictate how I live my life. I carry it where I can, but I don't let it tell me where I can and can't go. So that's why I like stretch denim. RevTown, definitely a good option. A little bit more rugged, a little bit more durable. It's a heavier gauge fabric, so because of that, again, doesn't do as well in hot weather. Then, at the peak of durability, these are also the most expensive ones, are going to be the brand is Bulletproof. They actually have kind of a ripstop material woven into the fabric as well. Now, because of that, they don't have quite the same texture as a traditional denim. It looks almost more like a chino or like a duck canvas, which is fine. Still cut like a jean, nice and soft out of the box. Supposedly these are supposed to be pretty bulletproof. So Lee turned me onto these as well. He is a big fan of these when he's on his bike. And while I've not spent any appreciable time on a motorcycle myself, my understanding is that there's a lot of sharp and or burny surfaces, and so these hold up very well to that. Definitely worth a look, but you're going to pay for these. These are like $110 a pair. If you need that durability, or if you just like the idea of something that has that amount of kind of rugged performance built into it, then this would definitely be an option worth considering, because you're going to likely have them long enough that the cost per wear will still make them worthwhile. The last pair that I want to talk about is what I'm wearing, which are by far my favorites. These are from Bluffworks, and I found out about these from another YouTube channel that I follow, and the reason that they've become my favorite is honestly because these are the first ones that have Cool Max fabric woven into them. So even though it's still denim, I've been able to wear these in July in Texas comfortably. They breathe amazingly well. So it's definitely, if you run hot like I do, these are a very welcome addition to the closet. The fit on them is exactly how I like my jeans to fit. It's close to the body without being skinny jeans. And they've only got a couple of colors, but the colors that they do have are really the ones that you need. They've got like a slate gray and then these indigo dark wash. The other features that they have built into these, they're supposed to be kind of a traveler pant, so they've got a secondary zipped pocket here that honestly I'll typically use for my key fob, since my new car has a keyless entry to it, and so that keeps me from having to worry about where that is. There's a very small, they call it a tool pocket in this one, but it's really not much bigger than my thumb, so I can't imagine what you're putting in there. The only thing that I can really think of it being useful for would be to, like, if you've got like a Spyderco or some kind of knife with a reversible clip on it, using that to clip your knife to so that it would be indexed properly inside your pants, but not sticking out. So that might be a perk. There is also a dedicated cell phone pocket in the back, as well as kind of they call it a passport pocket on the left yoke. So if you do a lot of traveling or if you like the idea of that. The pockets that are built into this, I think, are a little bit better thought out than the ones in the 511s. Just because the way I kind of figured it on some of the tactical pants is that if you actually use all of the pockets that are featured in a slim cut pair of pants, you're going to have all these weird bumps and tumors all over that are just completely defeating the point. So again, I don't want this video to run too long, but that's the very high level overview of all this. I'm finding that the sweet spot right in the middle is that $60 to $70 price point is really where you start getting some additional benefits, both in terms of the fabric and the features that the pants offer. But honestly, you could do a whole lot worse than those $20 jeans from Arizona. So if you're just getting into this and you need something that is going to allow you to start elevating your wardrobe, it's definitely a good place to start. If you are already at a point where you kind of have things dialed in and you want to start buying better quality, I am a huge convert and fan of the Bluff work, so I definitely think that those are worth a look. But I'm perfectly happy with all these. And just to mention, none of this is sponsored. I spent my own money on all of these, with the exception of the Revtowns, which were a loaner pair from a buddy. So yeah, none of this was at all kind of paid for or influenced in any kind of way. So I hope you found this useful. And like I said, check out the details for the full breakdown below. And I'd love to hear what your favorite pair is in the comments. Let me know. Aside from that, I hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe and stay sharp.